Thank you very much for being a guest on the show, John. We've been friends for a while now, and I'm a big fan of your business and the way you run your business. And thank you for agreeing to be on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for thinking of me, for sure.
Just so everybody knows, John is the founder of Sous-Sols Solutions. He's got a team of experts that do foundation repair and maintenance. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the experiences he's had running his business and developing a team. So we'll jump right in. How did you get into this business in the first place, John?
Well, in 2003, right after university, I was hired by a foundation repair company in their finance department. So I was in their back end there doing the books, and I found the business pretty lucrative, pretty interesting to do. And that's how I started kind of into the business of foundation repair. Talked to the owner there and wanted to open up my own location, and didn't want to open competing with them in the area. So I picked another spot and did the move.
Okay, that other spot is a pretty big move. Where did you end up going?
It actually was a very big move. So it was a brand new career, brand new company, brand new country. It was Boston, Massachusetts. Actually, I moved to the U.S. Yeah, that was a big move.
Wow. Okay, so we had a lunch and we were talking about some of the adventures that you had during that move. And it seems like the US government had a twist in mind for you as far as the business is concerned. So what happened?
Okay, so everybody, it's starting your own business isn't easy like people make it sound on social medias or whatever. It's hard work, and I'm not afraid of hard work. I love hard work. It's a challenge. You reach there. So I left Halifax, Nova Scotia in 2003 and opened up my own business in Boston for the foundation repair. The business was extremely difficult to get started the first year or two. Then it took off. Then, the hard work of doing the home shows every single week for 3-4 months straight, every weekend you're there and knocking on doors, being in the yellow pages back then, having pay-per-click Googles. There was a lot of investments, a lot of time, a lot of money spent. But in the third year, the business turned around. And at the fifth year, it was a multi-million-dollar business.
Wow.
Yeah, it really was. We worked hard and we got the results.
Well, I think that talking about that whole part about the business development piece, that could be a whole other podcast. So we may have to invite you back to talk more about that.
Would love to.
But you weren't able to stay in Boston, right?
No, I wasn't. So I had an amazing team. My company is based on its team. It's no business owner or a leader can do everything on his own. And whoever says that they can, it's not a business. Like, my team is what made me in Boston. I had amazing crew, amazing foremen. They had the basics that I care about. They were kind to customer. They were authentic. They were hardworking, disciplined. I didn't have that, I don't want to show up on a Monday or didn't want to show up on Friday. They were there and they cared about the company as much as I did. And how they showed it is they cared about their client, about our clients. Like, to me, the first thing I look for is someone kind to our clients. That means they're kind to me. So they're the front line, they're the everything, they're the face of the company. So they have to do that part. And the team that I had, and some of them started with me, and before I left, were still there, and they're still there today. But one of my team members, he was the foreman. When I got the news that I will not be able to stay in Boston because of immigration reasons, that I had to leave. Again, don't forget, 6-7 employees full-time, paying hundreds of thousands of dollars of taxes, over $1 million business. And I just they said, no, you have to pick up and leave. So I said, okay, but I'm definitely not going to give it away. So I actually sold my business to one of my employees.
Wow. That
So
takes a lot of guts.
yes, but it was him. I don't deserve the credit. He deserves it. He was that good. And I'll be honest with you, he was a stand-up guy. Again, had the importance, had empathy, had kindness. He was just on point. And but it was a transition of 1 year. Like when I knew that I had to leave, I had 1 year to ship out. So I had to pay his debt. I had to put money in his account. I had to fix his credit. We went to the bank. Yes, I took a lot of risk.
That's a lot of work.
It was a lot of work. And we went to the bank. The bank wanted me to hold paper with the loan. I said, no problem. And we did the transition. He owned the business. I think I left him at $1.9 million or $2 million in sales. Last year, he hit $8 million in sales.
Wow.
So
what a success story.
So he deserves it. Like that's the type of people that you'd love to help, because it's an amazing feeling, you get goosebumps just thinking that, I had that much to do with the changing that person's life. And he was 27 years old back then.
Wow.
And now he's
so John, I just want to cut in here. The thing that you focused in about this gentleman was not his skills, was not his technical knowledge, was not his education, was not his business acumen. You were focusing on something different. And it's something that we as business leaders need to understand, that if you let your HR department hire your people based on their credentials, but don't look at those other things, you're really setting yourself up for failure.
George, I've never hired anyone, and I never will hire anyone based on their technical experiences or how good can they dig a hole or break with a jackhammer. I can teach that. That's so simple. It's the heart that I care about. That I ask a series of questions to see what will they do, because that's the home of a client. That's the customer's home. When we call, and it starts from the beginning. When we call and set up a time for the estimate, we have to show up at that time. Like when I say I'll be there between 11 and 12, at 10 o'clock, I better be sending a message saying to the client, I'll be there. I'm confirming that I'm going to be there. And I do show up, and I write the estimate. And during my estimate, I tell them that I'm also on the job. It's not like you give them an estimate and then you send a whole back crew to a job site that the homeowner has no idea who these people are. Yes, part of your company, but if there's a snag or a problem on the job, they earned your trust. They gave you the job. The client doesn't remember Sous-Sols Solutions in 6 months or 8 months. They remember John. They'll remember you. Yes, of course, it's branding and it's important that they remember Sous-Sols, but they buy you. They don't buy your colors. They really don't. And these people in Boston, and the person I sold the business to, had that magic. He had it, he drank it, he grasped it, and he ran with it.
Wow.
He wasn't, okay, I just want to buy this company and get this guy out of here. I'll do what I want. Absolutely not. He totally believed in it and probably did it better than me. And that makes me happy. It doesn't make me, I'm sad because he did it better than me or he has an $8 million. I am beyond happy. It's so fulfilling.
Sounds like a win-win.
It really is, because I would have had to leave that company with zero.
Yeah. Wow.
So
what were some of the challenges, John, that you had to face in terms of, yes, you had the year to help set him up, but then you had to run the business long distance, didn't you?
Yes. So a little bit of a snag was, the employees that were there never looked at him as their boss.
Yeah.
He was their foreman, right? So it was John was the boss, and then everybody else is equal, because I don't believe in one above the other. Yes, of course you can have a foreman on the job, certain job, but everybody's treated equal at least. So that was a challenge with some of the employees understanding that now it's him that's the boss. But I flew out there a couple of times, made sure that everything is legit. They understood. We went out for supper, for you drinks, oozed it in, and again, because of that juice that he drank and that belief that he believes about treating all your employees so good, they understood it very quickly, where he put them at ease. Like, listen, nothing changed, just the name changed from John to me,
Right.
And he really did do that. Another issues that would come up would be like something that we never hit, that 1 year of transition. So on a project, there's, let's say the concrete is, instead of 4 inches, it's 8 inches with rebar in it. John, what do I do? Picks up the phone, does a Zoom, or back then it was mostly video WhatsApp. No, wasn't much Zoom. So we did a video WhatsApp. We'd figure out the problem and we do it. In the first year, I think I met with him on a weekly basis. Every single week. We meet with him, we talk to him, see what's going on. Does he have any questions that he comes across in the estimates, stuff like that. But he was very, he understood pretty easily, and I didn't have to repeat 100 times. Like he was that good. So
yeah, he was clearly engaged in the whole project.
Yes, he definitely was. And he had the heart for his clients. He understood the meaning of service. He understood that without a client and without a happy team, you actually don't have a business.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was talking to somebody in the telemarketing business earlier today, and they were talking about the idea that, you have to have all the right things to say to keep a client happy and all the rest of it. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? If people feel that you're sincere, if people feel that you really care about them, you care about the product, you care about looking at it, they'll forgive little mistakes.
Absolutely. Authenticity.
If your heart is right there.
Authenticity and caring. That's all it is. Because I'll be honest with you, George, there's sometimes that I get estimates to do at my house. If there's someone you like and it screws up, it's like, yeah, it was okay. You make the excuses for them. You just say, yeah, that was hard. The wall was crooked. But if you didn't like them and somehow you gave them the job and then something happened, you find the problems, you know?
You make it worse.
Yeah, you really do. So yes, authenticity is very important. Servicing your client like you promised, especially in construction, it's basic, but for some reason, people think that's so difficult. Servicing your client is extremely important.
Yeah.
Doing what you say you're going to do is extremely important.
Yeah, it seems fundamental. It seems basic. It seems too simple, but it really is the backbone of any business, whether it's a service business or a product business, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. Like, honestly, after we're done, I've said this before, and I say it many times, after I'm done, people write me the check. They tell me, is there anything else we can do for you? Can we put you a Google review? Yeah, absolutely you can. But they even ask us. Yeah. They had a good customer experience. The whole idea of customer experience and having raving fans is what drives us. That's
100%.
it.
So, John, as we wrap up, what is a Sous-Sols Solutions up to these days? What is keeping you busy these days in the market?
So here in Quebec, there's a system that's not common. It's starting to, but it's called an inside French drain.
Oh yeah, that's different.
So instead of excavating all around the house and bringing heavy equipment and machinery, we can do the system from the inside. In Ontario, it's 90% inside, 10% outside. Maritimes, it's 96% inside, 4% outside.
Wow.
Boston, there is no such thing as outside anymore. It's all inside. So we're a little bit behind, and we still do the outside. Of course, a lot of excavation companies want the outside because they can get their equipment moving and working. So that's a little bit of a battle, but we're winning it. That, inside systems are a better system because they're guaranteed for life. They're half the cost as they're half the cost as outside systems. And they don't clog up with dirt because it's underneath the slab. It doesn't mean, oh, people will tell you, oh, but you're bringing water in, and then you're not bringing water in. It's under the slab. It's under the envelope of the walls on the floor. So it's not actually bringing anything in. Also, the challenge, a next project for us is we keep always improving our products and our materials for our injection resin. So the French drain is the French drain system, but then we fix cracks in the foundation. And we are the only, I think we are the only company, might be one more, that does a lifetime warranty. So when we fix a crack, it's guaranteed for the life of the home, as long as the customer owns it, and transferable when they sell. And that is because of the injection material that we use, the pre-polymer elastomer polyurethane. It stays flexible in the wall. It doesn't shrink with time. And that's a very important competitive advantage that we have. Wow. And of course, our guarantee, people love our guarantee, that they don't ever have to worry about it. It's the peace of mind.
Well, given your commitment to customer service, I'm sure the guarantee is always honored to the max.
Absolutely. That's the least we can do.
So where can people reach you? What's the best way for people watching this podcast that want to get in touch with you about your services? What's the best way for them to reach you?
Of course, social media. They can reach us on our website, and my direct cell phone. Like, I love talking to my clients. I'm not one that, talk to the salesman or talk to this person and not me. Don't talk to me.
Okay, so let me get this straight. If we run a title on the bottom with a phone number, you want to put your personal cell?
I have my personal plan in all my ads.
Oh, wow.
I want to talk to my clients. I want to talk to my customers. I want to see what they need. I want to make sure they're serviced well. So, of course.
That's amazing. Well, John, as I said before, I think we can have another podcast about some of the techniques that you use to communicate with your team in Boston and to keep that business thriving while you were doing your own business here, which is amazing. And I think that we can develop that. So we look forward to seeing you back again. Thanks for joining the podcast.
Thank you for having me, George.
And everyone, if you need John's services, please look him up. I can vouch for him. He's an amazing guy. Thanks, John.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.